And next we have a presentation by Braden Connor, our head of human resources, about a resolution on some professional search firms. Take it away, Braden.
Yes, and presentation is probably too big a word, but it'll be a report.
Okay.
And then a discussion of why the town supervisor and I are requesting this resolution. So as the board's aware, our town engineer relocated out of town last summer. Since that time, we've been actively recruiting for a replacement. We posted on the town website and sent to our distribution email list. We use the town's social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or X, I believe as it's called now. And we did free postings on Indeed and LinkedIn. When those didn't give us a robust candidate field, we went to civil service and requested that they broaden the qualifying degrees so that we wouldn't have good candidates inadvertently screened out on a technicality. They agreed to that. We reposted with the broadened qualifications. We did get some candidates, and 2 rounds of interviews were held, but because of the importance of this position, the hiring committee really wanted to get somebody that we thought would be fantastic to join the team, and the candidates, while they were more than qualified, we didn't think they were the right fit. So we continued recruitment. We've used paid postings on Indeed and LinkedIn, and we've been working through word of mouth through the engineering community. Several people doing that were posted up on the Association of Towns. And so as we've gone forward and we don't have a robust candidate pool that we would like, we said, what are our other options? And so one of those options is to hire a recruiting firm. And so I was tasked with researching what was out there. I made contact with approximately 8 firms. 5 of them responded to me, had good conversations with them, and I'm recommending 3. And so the thing to know about recruitment firms are you can hire them under 2 models. One is the retained model, where you work exclusively with one firm and you pay them up front, regardless of whether you get a good candidate or not. The other is the contingent model, where you engage with them. You can engage with multiple recruiters at the same time, and you only pay if you hire one of their candidates. And so, being that this is the first time that we've used a recruiter, we thought that the contingent model would give us a broader group of recruiters to work for. Since we haven't worked with any of these recruiters before, while they're all reputable, we don't have any personal experience with them. So that's why we decided to go with that route. We will still continue our traditional recruitment methods, and if we bring a candidate in through our traditional recruitment methods, we won't have to pay the recruiting firm. It's only if the candidate comes in through the recruiting firm. And so, ballpark, the contingency fees are about 25% of the first year's salary. The budget contains adequate money in the town engineer salary line for that because of the vacancy. And so it won't negatively impact the budget. Overall, given the other vacancies that we have and the so the savings on vacancy savings on salary and vacancy savings on benefits and costs, we have adequate funding as well for the current term contract that is performing the PE portion of the town engineer work. We have that, but the sooner we get a town engineer, the better we'll be financially, which is the burn rate on an outside contractor is higher than the salary and benefit rate for an employee. And the town management thinks that having a on-staff employee who's the town engineer is a superior model to using outsourced contractor. Most towns in this area use outsourced contractors. I mean, maybe it's 60-40, so it's not uncommon. And I think part of the reason they do that is because finding a PE who's interested in municipal work, it's a small recruitment pool. And so I think that's one of the difficulties that we're seeing, and that's why some towns go full outside contractor. And we don't want to do that. We prefer not to pay a recruiter, but we know that we have to continue to try different things and be resourceful in order to bring us the talent that we need. So the three firms that we're recommending are Goodwin Recruiting, Davron, and Exec Recruiting. Goodwin and Davron are national firms that specialize in engineers are one of their occupational specialties. And Exec Recruiters is a local firm. Engineering is not necessarily their specialty, but they are a local firm. And we wanted to have a mix of local and specialized recruiting firms. And the national recruiting firms, their business model, as well as our desire, is for them to find us local candidates. We don't have a budget and don't want to be in the business of paying relocation fees. So they know that, and they say that that's typical in most of their engagements. So with that, I'm available for questions that you may have.
That was such a thorough report that every time a question popped into my head and I made a quick note, you answered it in the next sentence or two. So I don't have any additional questions. And also, we did all receive this information at least 5 days ago from you. So we had a chance to see it and ask questions then. Does anybody else have anything they want to ask of Brayton?
I'll just repeat the question I asked you when I spoke to you on the phone.
Yeah.
So our budget for the engineering is what for 2024?
It's probably a question for Paul.
No, I prepared for this question.
Okay.
So when, I think, I'll answer it this way, and then if I didn't get it right, you tell me.
Sure.
So when we look at the salaries for our, for the engineering department, and we add on the benefits rate, it's about, the employment cost is about $372,000. And if you look at the first quarter of that, which all those positions are vacant, so the first quarter of this year, we're not paying those benefits and salaries, so that's a savings of about $93,000. If we end up hiring and have to pay the recruiting fee, that'll be about $25,000. And our quarterly burn rate on the town engineer consulting contract is about $50,000 a quarter. So 93,000 minus 75,000, we're still at 18,000 to the good. But
that's taking what, 3 positions that are currently vacant. But if we just looked at the engineer that we're looking to hire, it's not going to be that same savings, right?
Right. If we looked solely at the town engineer, that quarterly cost is about $37,000. The engineering salary itself is enough for the contingency recruitment contract, but not enough for the outside engineering contract.
Right. You said the burn rate for the professional engineers that we outsourced is $50,000 a quarter?
Yes. So that fact is one of the reasons why it's good to have a employee as a town engineer versus outside consulting contract.
Right.
And also, it supports why, even though we don't want to be in the business of hiring a recruiter and having to pay that fee, the sooner we get somebody, the sooner we can reduce that burn rate on the outside contracting rate. So,
absolutely.
That's what we're up against.
I don't think that, I'm not sure if any of the board members were aware that the burn rate was $50,000 a quarter for next year. I didn't until you just told me.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, it wasn't.
They're doing a wonderful job for us. They're really handling a lot of things because now more than ever, we need that engineering expertise, but it's expensive.
I just appreciate you taking the extra effort and posting in the Association of Towns. I'm trying to be a little creative there. I guess I didn't realize how long and exhaustive this has really been. So, yeah, it certainly makes sense why it's come to this.
You're welcome, and I did also, I'm doing an enhanced recruiter status on LinkedIn at your suggestion as well. So, you know, we've got a lot of eyes on this, and but we have no monopoly of good ideas, so I appreciate the feedback as well.
Well, and to your credit also, that, you know, you've interviewed multiple candidates who were more than qualified, but didn't feel it was a good fit, and it's very, very important, you know, to hire slowly and then hire quickly. But I appreciate the diligence you put into it, so. And it's, you know, you can interview very, very qualified people, but if you don't feel it's going to be a good fit for your environment, whatever company you're in, it's best to keep looking. So I commend you on that also.
And to hire somebody, you can do a disservice to them as well.
Right.
Because they'll be making a change in their career if it doesn't work out. I mean, obviously, we're looking at it from our stance as the employer, and we're not happy about that. But for the candidate, that's really disruptive to them as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's certainly our desire to go with the first part of the hire slowly so that we don't have to fire
Right.
quickly.
I think we learned our lesson.
Yes. Jenny, did you have anything to add?
No, I just think good luck.
Good luck for all of us.
Yeah.
I would move that we authorize the town supervisor to sign contingency contracts with 3 professional firms. I don't have those firms in the, oh, it's right here. With Goodwin Recruiting, Davron, and Exec Recruiters.
Second.
Deputy Supervisor Capaldi?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wright?
Aye.